Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Iraqi Dinar Market. If you follow Iraqi Dinar news or currency updates, today's video is important because we're going to discuss something many people are talking about right now, but we're going to explain it in a calm and realistic way. A phrase is trending across dinar communities and currency watchers. It's being linked to Franc 26, and it says CBI ISO 301 Operational Readiness. Now, for some people, that sounds very technical. For others, it sounds like a big signal. But the truth is, most viewers want a simple answer. What does this mean, and what should you do with this information? In this video, I'll break it down in plain English. No hype, no panic, and no fake promises. We'll discuss what ISO standards are, what operational readiness means, why people are excited, and what signals matter next. This is not financial advice. It's just an educational breakdown to help you understand what you're hearing and avoid confusion. So stay with me because near the end, I'll also share a simple checklist you can use to stay informed and reduce risk. Right now, many people online are sharing the same topic. They're saying that Franc 26 highlighted that the Central Bank of Iraq, or CBI, has reached something called ISO 301 Operational Readiness, and that this could be a sign the banking system is improving or moving forward. This is why the discussion is spreading quickly, because in the dinar community, any sign of progress, especially anything connected to international banking systems, creates attention. But let's be careful here. Online updates move fast. Some information is real, some is misinterpreted, and some is repeated without proof. So instead of reacting emotionally, we need to understand what this phrase actually means in the real world and how banks and central banks work when they prepare for international operations. That's what we're doing today. Before we go deeper, let me briefly explain who Franc 26 is in a neutral way. Franc 26 is a well-known commentator in the Iraqi dinar community. He has a large audience and many followers who watch his updates and interpretations. When he highlights something like this, it spreads quickly because people treat it as a sign of progress. But it's also important to understand this. Franc 26 is not the Central Bank of Iraq. He is a commentator, not an official institution. So while his updates may be interesting, they should always be treated as commentary, and viewers should still look for official confirmation and real evidence before making assumptions. On this channel, we respect opinions, but we also focus on facts and process. Now, let's simplify the word ISO. ISO stands for the International Organization for Standardization. In simple terms, ISO creates global standards, like rules and frameworks, so systems around the world can work the same way. For example, if banks use shared standards, they can communicate easier. If payment systems follow shared patterns, transactions can move smoothly. If reporting rules match, global institutions trust the process more. Think of ISO like a global language for financial systems. When countries adopt international standards, it makes them easier to work with. So when people say, CBI reached an ISO milestone, the idea is that Iraq's banking system may be aligning more with global expectations. That does not mean money suddenly changes value, but it can mean the system becomes more compatible and credible internationally. Now, let's break down the other key phrase, operational readiness. Operational readiness simply means the system is prepared to perform its duties smoothly, securely, and correctly, even under stress. For a central bank, readiness includes software systems that work properly, trained staff, security controls, compliance rules, backup plans, and reliable communication with other banks. In other words, it's not just one switch that gets turned on. It's more like a long process of preparing systems and proving they work. So if people are saying CBI operational readiness, the meaning is the central bank may be improving its systems and procedures to operate more professionally with international partners. That's why it matters. So, why does ISO and operational readiness matter for Iraq? Because modern banking is global. Countries don't operate alone. They need correspondent banks, settlement networks, trade financing, reserve operations, and international clearing systems. When international banks see that a central bank is meeting recognized standards and showing readiness, it can increase trust. That trust helps reduce friction. It can lower risk premiums. It can encourage smoother cross border transactions. For Iraq, improved standards can support better trade settlement, easier financial transfers, stronger banking credibility. This doesn't automatically change the currency value, but it improves the environment in which the currency operates, and that matters over time. Now, here is a very important reality check. Even if the CBI achieves an operational milestone, it does not automatically mean a revaluation has happened, a sudden currency reset is confirmed, or that the exchange rate will change tomorrow. Technical progress is important, but exchange rate policy involves government decisions, legal changes, economic conditions, reserve levels, and international coordination. So don't fall for dramatic claims like, it's happening tonight, it's guaranteed this week, this milestone means instant payout. Those messages are usually based on excitement, not verified facts. Progress is good, but we should stay grounded. If readiness and standards continue improving, what changes could happen first? Most likely, the early changes would be incremental, such as smoother international transfers, improved banking connections, better compliance compatibility, easier access to certain foreign exchange corridors, and improved system credibility. These are the types of changes that build confidence. Confidence builds stability. Stability can support gradual improvements in markets. But this is usually a slow process, not an overnight miracle. So the realistic takeaway is operational readiness can remove barriers and support progress, but major currency events require multiple steps and decisions. Now, let's outline how these steps usually unfold. If a central bank achieves a milestone like ISO readiness, the likely sequence is Step 1, system alignment and internal testing. Step 2, audits and validation. Step 3, pilot operations or controlled transactions. Step 4, expanded international adoption. Step 5, broader economic impacts over time. Banks and institutions often move slowly because they must avoid risk. They don't suddenly change procedures across the world overnight. They do testing, review results, and expand carefully. So expect a phased approach, not instant global acceptance. So, what should viewers watch for next? Here are the signals that matter most. Checkmark, official statements from the Central Bank of Iraq. Checkmark, CBI circulars or published updates on procedures. Checkmark, regulatory changes that support reforms. Checkmark, documented pilot activities with international systems. Checkmark, named institutions confirming involvement. Community commentary can be helpful for awareness, but real progress is shown through official documentation, regulatory action, and confirmed partnerships. That's what separates real movement from online noise. Now, let's address the question everyone asks. How long will this take? The truth is, no one can give a guaranteed timeline. Some steps take weeks, other steps take months or years. A milestone is like clearing one level in a game. It opens the next phase, but it doesn't mean you finished the game. So instead of chasing dates, focus on tracking the next verified signals, official releases, documented testing, regulatory updates, and real institutional confirmations. We also need to talk about risks and misinterpretation. The Iraqi Dinar community has seen many cycles of hope, excitement, delays, and disappointment. Technical milestones are real progress, but they can be exaggerated online. Also, Iraq's progress can be affected by political decisions, economic pressures, security issues, regional stability, and global market disruptions. So the best approach is cautious optimism. Celebrate progress, but avoid emotional decisions based on single headlines. Now, here is the practical checklist. If you want to stay organized and reduce risk, do these steps. Create a verified sources watch list. Follow the Central Bank of Iraq official site and reliable financial news outlets. Track official documentation. Look for circulars, policy updates, and regulatory statements. Watch for pilot activity evidence. Real pilot operations are usually traceable and documented. Don't commit everything to one outcome. Diversification is a safety rule. Keep your records organized. If you hold physical currency, track what you have, store it securely, and avoid sharing online. Seek professional advice for big decisions, especially if taxes or large conversions are involved. This checklist helps you stay calm and prepared without reacting to every rumor. All right, let's summarize today's update. Frank 26 highlighting CBI ISO 301 operational readiness is a strong community signal, and it may suggest technical progress inside Iraq's banking system. Operational readiness matters because it improves credibility and helps Iraq align with international banking standards. But this milestone alone is not proof of a sudden revaluation or overnight exchange rate change. The smart approach is watch official confirmations, track real institutional signals, and stay practical. This is Iraqi Dinar Market, and our goal is simple: explain the news clearly, reduce confusion, and help you stay informed without hype. If you found this video helpful, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next update. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video.